Hey everyone, how's it going today? Coach Alvarez here, back at you another episode, Coffee with Coach. Hope you're up doing well, got the mind in the right place. If not, as always, let's put it in the right place. So today I want to share with you guys a little something that's been on my mind for a little bit, and then just kind of some situations that came up yesterday, kind of just brought it even more so to the forefront. Wanted to get it out, but having a good attitude in Jiu Jitsu. Okay, win or lose, regardless of what happens during your training sessions while you're practicing, it's important to have a good attitude. All right, I did another video a couple weeks ago about leading by example or be the example, something like that, and that was in regards to kind of just life in general, of being someone that people can look to or look up to when things are tough, and they can kind of feed off of you for some energy to go and do some positive things and have a positive mindset. We need more people like that, all right? And we need more people, more students all over, regardless of where you train with me, train wherever. If you're new to Jiu-Jitsu, you're a couple years in, it's important that as a student, you do your part to help your team, again, whether it's my team or wherever you're training at, to be a good example to other people, because someone is always watching you, okay? You're always being watched by someone. Maybe you don't want to be an example, like a leader in the school, but you are. At some point, you are, all right? And so when you get tapped out, have a bad training session, maybe you lose all your rounds, maybe whatever you had in your mind that you wanted to implement on your teammates, or some kind of strategy or game plan you're trying to work, does not work, and you're just having a bad day, an off day, and things just aren't clicking, and things are just whatever, you need to get up right away, tie your belt, fix your gi, get a drink of water or whatever, shake it off, and get ready for the next round, okay? This is what I preach to my students day in and day out, like all the time. Like we do 4 7-minute rounds every day, at least, minimum. And there's like a minute and a half, minute and 40-second break between the rounds. That's plenty enough time to get up off the mat, fix your gi, tie your belt, get a drink, and get a new training partner, a new teammate, or it could be the same one, and be ready to shake hands when the bell is getting ready to ring again for the next round. And kind of what I've been dealing with lately is this: some students, okay, not one, okay, but multiple students not ready for that next round because they're allowing the previous round to get in the way of the next round, okay? Again, maybe they got tapped once, maybe they got tapped a couple times in one round, and they just were really struggling with whatever. And now they're eating up, 20, 30 seconds, 40 seconds, even a whole minute off the clock to just get up off the mat, to tie their belt, fix their gi, get a drink. And now when the bell rings, they're not ready, and they're eating more time off the clock. For me, in my school, at least, I'll go back over and reset the clock. Like, I'll look across the mat and I'll see that if people aren't ready, or if I see or can tell someone, I can read their body language and I can see they're struggling and they're taking their time on purpose, I'll just wait until they are ready, and then I'll reset the clock and then go again. And what that does is just make the round even longer. So some people I have in my account, they'll lay on the mat after the round. Like, maybe they're just exhausted. They just had a hard round, back and forth, scrambles, whatever. They gave it everything they had, and they're just laying upside down, looking up at the ceiling. I make them get up right away. Because what's that show? That shows that, for one, if you're tired, you are tired, okay? If you're not getting up off the mat right away with your head down and you're looking like you struggled in the last round, the people that are getting ready to roll with you on the next round are going to see that. They're going to feed off of that. Oh, look, they're like a wounded animal, basically. They're struggling. They need more time to gather themselves together. And so you are going to be easy pickings or like an easier round for that next person. And me personally, I'm not trying to be anyone's rest round. Okay, sometimes you'll hear that phrase in jiu-jitsu, a rest round. Basically meaning I'm gonna roll with you because I know that you don't have it upstairs together yet and you're frustrated and you're tired. So I'm gonna go roll with you because that'll give me a round, but not that hard of a round, and it'll give me a break and then get ready for the next one. So you're considered a rest round. All right. So I'll never be that for anyone. All right. That's just the mindset. Like we go, we shake hands. We're gonna get after it, and that's it. And if you beat me, great. But it won't be because I just gonna let you just smash me up just because I'm frustrated with the previous round. Okay. So it's important. This is what I was telling my students yesterday. It's important that this is what jiu-jitsu is supposed to teach you, or at least is what it's given me and taught me over the years, is that how to handle, bad things, how to handle, struggles, how to handle, tough situations or things not going your way. Like it's a great representation of life, and over time, this is what jiu-jitsu is supposed to teach you, supposed to give you that, not the other thing. And that's kind of what we're going in the direction with some students that have been there for a couple years or close to it. White belt, completely understandable. You're new to jiu-jitsu, you're a couple months in, 6 months in, less than a year or whatever, and you're still trying to get a handle on things. You're still learning and you're struggling a lot and you're just in bad positions all the time. That's the way jiu-jitsu works. And you're going to get frustrated and you're going to have some, but over time, it's supposed to humble you. Over time, it's supposed to, jiu-jitsu is meant to break you down, like I was telling the students last night, to your core, all right? And then it'll build you back up. And hopefully when it builds you back up, you're a stronger, better individual through the process of getting beat and getting tapped and losing and getting frustrated and the peaks and valleys of jiu-jitsu. And it's not supposed to break you down and then build you back up into something weaker, okay? It's supposed to build you up into something stronger. So it's important that when you're training, your attitude on the mat is everything. Your attitude on the mat is everything. You got students that throw mouthpieces. You got students that throw their belts. You got students that like slam the mat real hard. You got students that just don't want to shake your hand afterwards. You got students that, they don't even want to speak to you, afterwards because you beat them. Not because you hurt them, not because they got hurt or someone like roughed them up and was like kind of malicious with their training. It was just, they lost and they don't know how to handle losing. And as a result of not being able to handle losing, again, throwing mouthpieces, throwing your water bottle, all these things. It's not a good look. It's not a good look for you. It's not a good look for the rest of the team. It makes the coaches look bad. It makes the whole team, the logo, everything look like we're poor sports or you're a poor sport. But it's not just you. It's a reflection of the school and the coaches. So when you can't handle your losses and your frustrations and you're just, it's definitely something you absolutely got to get a hold of. I know I'm not the only one as a coach that deals with this. That's why I'm putting it out there. It's out there for anyone that's going to watch this or catch this at some point in their jiu-jitsu training, jiu-jitsu journey. Be mindful of your attitude. And even when you win, let's say you won all your rounds, everything's clicking, everything is just working great for you today. And to get up off the mat and like have like this ego, this attitude like you're the stuff, you gotta be careful with that, because tomorrow when you show up to class, it might not be that great for you, okay? So again, someone's always watching you to see if you're humble, if you're how you handle being one of the best students in the academy, which I've dealt with that before personally. Myself as a coach had some, I got a lot of really good students. And for the most part, most of my, I've got really humble students. They got great attitudes. They help each other. They answer questions. They give tips to the whoever they're rolling with if they beat them. But then I've had those students where, they kind of separated themselves and they're in a different class on their own, and they treat people differently, and they're not as good as them, and so they won't like roll with them, or they won't answer their questions, or they won't give them the same respect as they would someone that's as good as them or better than them. They treat people differently because they don't get it as fast. They don't understand jiu-jitsu. It's hard for a lot of people. Jiu-jitsu is really hard, and that's why there's like these things for the parents. If the parents are watching these videos, like it's a long process. It takes time to develop. And if you got a 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old, a 4-year-old, a 5-year-old, and maybe your kid's a beast in some other sport, and now they're doing jiu-jitsu and they're getting choked out and they're getting dominated, and you're looking through the screen, because we have screens, we don't have parents in our training area, they have to watch through the TVs, or you're able to be a parent that's on the side of the mat, and it's rough to like watch your kid get just destroyed and dominated and tapped and beat, and when in other sports they're like this superstar, and now they got to go start from the bottom and work their way through this process. No one gets away from that process. No one escapes from going through what everyone in jiu-jitsu has to go through. So regardless of how talented or athletic or how good you get this stuff, you are going to get crushed. All right. And as a parent, it's hard to watch that. So parents, if I'm having trouble with adults, grown men, okay, and women struggling with their egos and their attitudes and those kind of things as an adult, okay, think about this as a child, as a kid, and what they have to go through. Okay, so it takes time, but that's what we're there to teach the kids. That's what we're there to show them about character, okay, and how to be a winner and be a loser and have a good attitude and be humble and all these things. And it's a process. And I get it, it's a process with the adults, but it shouldn't be that much of a struggle to explain this to adults and have them understand as it is like an 8, 9, 10-year-old, okay? So, jiu-jitsu practitioners out there, you're watching, all right? You're training. Have a good attitude, okay? Win or lose, shake hands, get up right away up off the mat. Don't lay down. Don't put your head down between your knees. I was kind of sharing this with my students the other day. I had a really good student. One of my best students that I ever had the pleasure of coaching, because he got it so good and he picked it up really fast and he's really good. But the only problem with this individual that I will never forget is his attitude. When he lost, when he got swept, or when I passed his guard, or like I tapped him, man, he didn't want to talk afterwards. He wouldn't get up off the mat right away. He'd have his head down in between his knees after class. Actually one time he told me he would go in the car and roll the windows up and turn the music up and just scream. Okay, I thought that was funny, but hey, you know what? He did it in his own little personal space. Cool. Sometimes you just gotta get things out, but jiu-jitsu is not that serious, man. Like, I take jiu-jitsu serious. I'm a very serious, and anyone that trains with me or trained with me before knows how serious I take my jiu-jitsu. But not to the point where I'm gonna let it steal my joy of training jiu-jitsu because I had a bad day or an off round, and I lost and stuff like that. I've been tapped by my students. I've been beat by my students. I will continue to go through this process with my students as they get better. I will lose. And as much as it stings and it hurts inside to like, I made a mistake, shouldn't have did that, I didn't respect that position or that grip or whatever, and I got caught. How's that gonna look for me as a coach, as a leader of my team, to like throw my mouthpiece, hit the mat, kick my belt, throw my water bottle, not talk to my student after they tap me, and basically act like a 2-year-old. It's not a good look. It wouldn't be a good look. I would lose respect from my students and my teammates, and I don't ever want to do that. So as bad as it hurts and as much as it sucks to lose and get tapped and not have a good day, it's going to suck even worse with a crappy attitude and not being humble and let the ego get the best of me and showing everyone what not to do. Okay, so be a good example. It's hard to do sometimes because you do want to get good. You're really trying at this art and you're really giving it everything you got. Maybe you're eating healthier and you're working out and you're running and you're watching videos and you're doing all these things, and then you go to the mat and it still doesn't work out the way you thought it was going to work out. It is what it is. Okay, be a good example. Be a leader in your academy. If you're a 2-stripe white belt, that means you're a leader to the 1-stripe white belt. And if you're a 1-stripe white belt, you're an example to the white belt with no stripes, and so on and so forth. So it doesn't matter where you're at in the chain, okay, where you're at on the totem pole. Someone's always watching you. Someone's always looking at you. And your attitude, if it stinks, all right, if it sucks, it shows. It shows big time. And you do not want to be remembered or be that guy or girl, that has that attitude. All right, it sucks. It sucks for the whole team. It sucks for the coaches. It makes the coaches like, our job's already hard enough as it is. You got 30, 40, 50 people on the mat and you're trying to help all these people and whatever. And then now you got to deal with this stuff here, man. Like, get it under control. All right, get it under control. Understand that process will never end. And so the sooner you come to grips with that and understand that, then, you can go back to having fun with jiu-jitsu again. I am one of the most competitive individuals out there, period. All right, but I love jiu-jitsu. I like training. I like sweating. I like what it does for me, and I'm not going to let a bad roll or a mistake and get caught and get tapped just completely ruin my training session and stuff like that. All right, so just something I've been seeing a little bit lately on my mats. I'm sure other coaches 100% are seeing it on their mats, and the less people we have doing that, it'll just make the training sessions more enjoyable and a more pleasant place to be. So get your attitudes together, get it under control, and be a humble and just thankful person for each round that you get to do. Okay, because in each training session, each roll, you're learning something, whether you think so or not. Okay, and take advantage of the opportunities to ask a question to whoever tapped you or swept you or mounted you or whatever to you, to try to get better. Okay, so anyways, got to head up to the academy, guys. Catch you guys on the next one. Have a great day. We'll see you.